This week, the central United States is bracing for a weather event that could shape the region's landscape and daily life for days to come. Meteorologists are closely monitoring a massive swirling storm system that's gathering strength and showing no signs of letting up. The atmosphere is primed for volatility, and the signs are unmistakable. From the satellite images above to the growing tension on the ground, all indicators point to a turbulent sky on the horizon. Residents across the heartland are being warned of a prolonged and dangerous stretch of severe weather, unlike the quick-moving storms that sometimes pass through. This is a system that will linger, bringing with it a heightened risk of hazardous conditions that could disrupt communities both large and small. A persistent atmospheric pattern is setting up, one that will funnel repeated rounds of intense thunderstorms from the southern plains all the way to the Ohio Valley. These storms won't just be isolated events. They'll come in waves, each one potentially more severe than the last, testing the resilience of towns and cities in their path. For millions of people, this means staying alert and prepared is more important than ever. This isn't just a single day of bad weather to ride out, but a multi-day threat that could bring new dangers with each passing hour. Families are urged to keep a close eye on forecasts and be ready to act quickly if conditions worsen. The hazards are numerous and serious. Large hailstones could damage vehicles and homes, while powerful, damaging winds have the potential to knock down trees and power lines. Isolated tornadoes are also possible, capable of causing destruction in a matter of minutes as energized storms sweep through both major cities and rural communities. What makes this situation especially dangerous is the risk will regenerate for several consecutive days. Just because one storm has passed doesn't mean the threat is over. In fact, each new round of storms could be just as intense, making it crucial not to let your guard down or become complacent. With each passing storm, the ground becomes more saturated and infrastructure grows weaker. Flooded fields, eroded roads, and downed power lines are just some of the challenges that can accumulate, increasing the region's vulnerability to the next wave of severe weather. The cumulative impact can be devastating, especially for farmers and those living in low-lying areas. From Texas to Missouri and beyond, preparedness is absolutely essential. Now is the time to review your safety plan, assemble an emergency kit, and make sure everyone in your household knows what to do if a warning is issued. Staying informed through trusted sources can make all the difference when minutes matter. In this special coverage, we'll break down the specific threats facing each region and offer practical, actionable advice to help you and your loved ones navigate this volatile week. From understanding warning signs to knowing when to seek shelter, we're here to help you stay safe. The atmosphere is sending unmistakable signals. A major weather event is on the way, and it demands our full attention and respect. Stay with us as we track this unfolding situation and provide the information you need to weather the storm. This week's severe weather is being shaped by a classic and powerful clash of air masses, a dramatic meteorological battle that unfolds high above the landscape. When two very different air masses meet, the atmosphere becomes a stage for some of nature's most intense displays. This is the story of how those invisible forces set the stage for the storms we see on the ground. A pronounced dip in the jet stream over the western United States acts like a conveyor belt, sending cold, dry air surging southward from Canada and the Rockies. At the same time, a bulge in the jet stream over the east draws up warm, humid air from the Gulf of Mexico, pushing it northward across the plains. These two air masses are fundamentally different. One is dense and chilly, the other light and moisture-laden. When they collide, the contrast is stark, and the energy released can be immense. The zone where these air masses meet is called a boundary, often a cold front or a dry line. Along this invisible line, the atmosphere becomes unstable. Here, the warm, moist air is forced to rise rapidly over the denser, colder air. This rising motion is the spark that ignites thunderstorms, sometimes in dramatic fashion. As the warm, humid air is lifted, it cools and condenses, forming towering cumulonimbus clouds. These clouds can quickly grow into powerful thunderstorms, fueled by the abundant moisture and energy in the atmosphere. The result is explosive storm development, with the potential for hail, damaging winds, and even tornadoes. This setup is a textbook recipe for a multi-day severe weather outbreak across the central United States, especially during the spring months when temperature contrasts are at their greatest. The Central Plains become a battleground, with repeated rounds of storms sweeping across open fields and communities. As long as the jet stream maintains this pattern, the atmosphere remains primed for repeated waves of energy. Each new disturbance riding along the boundary can trigger fresh rounds of storms, sometimes with little break in between. This means the threat isn't just a one-day event, but a prolonged period of heightened risk. That's why meteorologists are forecasting an extended period of severe weather, with the greatest risk stretching from Wednesday through Friday, and possibly even longer if the pattern holds. Each day brings the potential for new storms, and communities across the region need to stay alert. All the ingredients are in place: moisture, instability, lift, and wind shear. The atmosphere is loaded with potential energy, and even a small trigger can unleash significant storms. Meteorologists and storm chasers are watching closely, measuring conditions and tracking every development. Understanding how these air masses interact is crucial for staying ahead of the storm. By recognizing the signs and preparing in advance, communities can reduce risk and stay safe during this volatile period of severe weather. The severe weather sequence is set to begin on Wednesday, with meteorologists closely monitoring a large swath of the central United States. The primary risk zone stretches from northeastern Texas through eastern Oklahoma and Kansas, all the way into western Missouri. This region is under heightened alert as atmospheric conditions become increasingly favorable for dangerous storms to develop. Major metropolitan areas like Dallas, Oklahoma City, and Kansas City are directly in the path of this first wave. Residents in these cities should be especially vigilant, as the potential for severe weather could disrupt daily routines and pose significant hazards to both property and personal safety. By the afternoon hours, expect to see strong to severe thunderstorms rapidly developing. These storms are likely to intensify as the day progresses, continuing well into the evening. The atmosphere will become increasingly unstable, fueling the potential for powerful and fast-moving storm cells. Hazards from these storms include the threat of large, damaging hail, powerful wind gusts capable of downing trees and power lines, and the possibility of isolated tornadoes, especially during the busy evening commute when many people are on the roads. The day may start off deceptively calm, with blue skies and mild conditions, but don't let your guard down. Weather conditions can change rapidly, sometimes within just a few minutes, catching people off guard if they're not prepared. Make sure you have multiple ways to receive weather alerts, whether it's through your smartphone, local news, or a weather radio. Review your shelter plan with your family so everyone knows exactly where to go if a warning is issued. Remember, this is just the opening act of what's expected to be a multi-day severe weather event. Staying prepared and informed is crucial, as additional rounds of storms are likely in the days ahead. Take time now to prepare your emergency kit. Include essentials like water, non-perishable food, flashlights, batteries, and important documents. Go over your safety plan with everyone in your household to ensure you're ready for whatever comes. Spring's severe weather season has arrived, bringing with it unpredictable and sometimes dangerous conditions. Stay alert, stay prepared, and make safety your top priority as this first wave of storms moves through. Thursday brings another round of severe storms, this time from northern Texas to southern Kansas. Communities hit Wednesday could face renewed threats just 24 hours later. Damaging winds, large hail, and isolated tornadoes remain possible, with storms likely to continue into the night. Nighttime storms are especially dangerous. Ensure you have a way to receive alerts while you sleep. Saturated ground increases the risk of flash flooding, compounding the hazards. Stay vigilant and informed as the severe weather episode continues. Thursday is another critical day in this relentless spring storm sequence. As the week ends, severe weather persists. Friday's threat zone stretches from northern Texas through eastern Oklahoma into south-central Missouri. Some communities may be hit for the second or even third time this week. The same atmospheric setup means large hail, destructive winds, and isolated tornadoes remain likely. By Friday, saturated ground will make flash flooding a growing concern. Rivers and streams could quickly overflow, adding to the danger. After days of storms, fatigue can set in, but vigilance is still crucial. Check forecasts, have multiple ways to get warnings, and be ready to act. The finale of this severe weather event could be just as impactful as its start. Severe thunderstorms this week threaten with three main hazards: large hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes. Hailstones over an inch wide can damage cars, roofs, and crops, and pose a serious risk to anyone outdoors. Straight-line winds may reach hurricane force, snapping trees and damaging buildings. Isolated tornadoes, though not widespread, can cause devastating destruction with little warning. Any storm could produce all three hazards, making every warning critical. When a warning is issued, seek shelter immediately. Don't wait to see what happens. Treat every severe thunderstorm with respect and get indoors, away from windows. This triple threat is why preparation and quick action are so important. Flooding is an equally serious threat this week, as storms pull in moisture from the Gulf and dump heavy rain over the same areas repeatedly. While initial rain may help drought-stricken regions, the ground quickly becomes saturated. Once saturated, any additional rain turns to runoff, rapidly filling streams and rivers. Flash floods can develop in minutes, especially in urban areas where water can't soak in. Remember, turn around, don't drown. Just a few inches of moving water can be deadly. Rising rivers may cause more widespread, long-lasting flooding, threatening homes and farmland. Flood impacts can linger long after storms have passed. Stay alert for both severe thunderstorm and flood warnings throughout the week. Drought-hardened soil can't absorb heavy rain quickly, leading to rapid runoff and flash flooding even at the start of the event. As rain continues, the ground becomes fully saturated, shifting the threat from flash floods to broader river flooding. Streams and rivers will swell, and the risk of prolonged widespread flooding grows. Farmland and infrastructure already stressed by drought may be especially vulnerable to flood damage. The same rain that ends drought can quickly become destructive. Monitor both thunderstorm and flood alerts. Danger doesn't end when the rain stops. Rising water is a persistent threat that can last days after the skies clear. Stay prepared for evolving hazards as the week unfolds. Preparation is essential for a multi-day severe weather event. Have multiple ways to receive alerts: NOAA weather radio, smartphone notifications, and trusted news sources. Know your safe place, a basement, storm shelter, or an interior room without windows. Prepare an emergency kit with essentials: flashlight, batteries, first aid supplies, medications, water, and food. Make a family communication plan in case local lines are down. Never walk or drive through floodwaters. Turn around, don't drown. Take warnings seriously and act immediately when they're issued. Staying informed and ready can make all the difference. This week's storms will be powerful, but preparation is your best defense.